This meeting is
creating
being
S3
recorded.
buckets, creating RDS databases, right? VPC, I told you, it will revolve only between these things only. There is nothing much. But in Terraform, you have different components. Let's say, for example, you can launch the EC2 instance, and then we can pass the user, can run the user data inside it if required. So mainly Terraform will help us to create infrastructure. So, and one more service I forgot to tell you. I told you what are the services that Terraform will revolve on: EC2, VPC, S3, RDS, and another one is EKS. Which one? We'll be learning EKS also in coming days. So EKS, so Kubernetes we have done, right? So Kubernetes we have completed. So we created our cluster by ourselves, right? Using KOps. And using Minikube we did, KOps we did. If required, you can go with the Kube ADM also, no problem, right? But the thing is here, that Kubernetes is managed by us. But in AWS, we have EKS service, whereas the control plane is managed by AWS. Worker nodes, it will create, but control node, it's completely managed by EKS. So how to set up EKS is also an infrastructure or not? So how to create the EKS automatically? One single line command is enough to create EKS. But through Terraform also, what we can do, we can create the EKS. So Terraform is only to creating the infrastructure. Remember. So now what we do is, let us go and set up how to create a S3 bucket. What's that? It's very easy to create an S3 bucket manually. But what I want is, let us go and create with our actual directory structure. What's that? Can you tell me what are the directories that, what are the files that we create separately? What are the files? Main.tf. Next, variables.tf. Output if required. Hmm. Yes or no? We can create separately. Provider at TF also we can create separately or not? In our last class, what we did, we created main.tf, we created variables.tf, we created variables TFRs, Terraform TFs also we created. Now, in actual real time, how do they create separately? What we do is we create a separate TFVars. What does the TFVars contain? What does the TFVars contain? Variable values. Declaration will be done in the TFVars. So we'll create a TFVars, we'll create a variables, we'll create a separate provider, we'll create a main.tf. Okay. So all these things, directory structure, all the file structure we'll create is for what purpose? To create a S3 bucket. You understand the goal? The goal is what, Nana, here? To create a S3 bucket. How? Through Terraform, not through, in the main, it is just only one code. Resource, you put S3, AWS S3 bucket, and then S3 bucket will be created. But here, what I need is, we will create the S3 bucket through the actual real file structure. Should we go and create? What's the first thing that we create? Is what? TFVars. Which one? Tell me. VI Terraform dot, which one? TFVars. Okay. In this TFVars, what we create, we assign just a variable, right? So what is the variable that I assign here is my bucket. What's that? So what's the bucket name? Let's say TF Terraform example Riaz S3 BKT. I'm just creating. I'm declaring the value or not? Where? In the TFRs. Clear? Next, what I need to create? Let's go and create a provider. We'll go and create a provider. So provider, you can take the code from here. Can I take the code here also or not? Guys, can I take the code here? Yes. What's the code? VI provider dot which one? TF. Can I take this code? Nice code. Okay. And then here provider. So I need to modify something here. What I need to modify? In this code, I need to modify one thing. Let them answer. What I need to change here? Region. So here I need to put the region. What? Tell me. Region is equal to AP hyphen South hyphen 1. So my provider.tf is ready. Next, we'll create variables now. Vi variables.tf. So what is the variable I have declared there? What is the variable name I have declared? My bucket. That is my variable name or not? So we need to declare here, right? So values we have given, but declaration will give here. Okay, tell me. What's the syntax? Hmm. Name. Hmm? Someday, my bucket. That's a variable in TFRs I have given my bucket is equal to, right? Okay, that's a variable name. Here, very good. Type is equal to which one? String. And can I give description also? Can I say that this is my DevOps test bucket from Terraform? Can you give something? And then that's if required, can you make it default as nothing? So because if you got, can you mention the my bucket name here also? Yes, but if you mention the bucket name here, TFRs will not, so it will not be good there. So that's why either you can put the default here or else you know to put the default ID. We can put empty also. Okay, next. What are the things that we created? What are the things that we created? Provider, variables.tf, providers.tf, we have created. What is the next thing we need to create? Huh? TFRs we created already. Main.tf, right? Everything is structure is ready now. File structure. Let's go and create which one? Main.tf. In main.tf, do I need to mention providers here now? Do I need to mention the versions here now? Do I need to mention any variables here? Everything is separately created. So what I need to mention? Directly resource block. Tell me, resource. So resource type, you should find it. This one, I remember, S3 underscore, what is it? Bucket. So this resource type, you can find it from the internet, from documentation. What is the S3 resource type? So how, just go here. Terraform S3 resource type. What is this here? AWS underscore S3 underscore bucket. Okay. You can take this simply, you can take and copy paste it also. Okay. Next step. And then we need to give the label name, right? So label name can be anything. So I can call it as example bucket. Next step. Okay. So here, what's the argument I need to bucket? Bucket is equal to what is the bucket? sorry. What is the bucket name? How do I call here? How do I call that variable here? Very good. Var dot which one? What's the variable name? A bucket. Super. You understand how to call the variables? Clear? Online this is clear now, everyone. So now what we do here? Have we done any Terraform init till now? No, right? So, but we have created so many things. So let's go and do Terraform init. Okay. Next. So what do we need to do? Terraform validate. Success. So next Terraform plan. Do you see this? So, but is it giving any output here for me? because we didn't give the any output variable. But if required, can you give the output variable? You can give the output. You can write output, and then what you need to give, resource type dot label, and then you can which attribute that you want, bucket name, you can give it here. Okay, but I'll give one more example for that. So now what we do? Terraform apply hyphen auto prove. What will create now? It will create a S3 bucket. Now understand with the file structure how to create it. See, it's created already. Understood? Hmm? Online, this is clear. So now let's go and destroy. Online, is this clear now? Okay. Similar, are you showing console? I just delete. What it will show? It will what it will show? It will create S3 bucket or not? Dinesh, that will create. Okay. That's a baby's question. Okay. So now I want, let us take one more example to launch an EC2 instance. We already did it, but I want to go with the file format again, file structure. Should we go and do it again? Hmm? So what are the files that we need to create now? First directly we'll go main.tf. In main.tf, you need to call the variables, no? So for that, first we need to create what? Variables.tf. But in that variable.ts, we need to call the actual variables from TFRs, right? So what I need to create first? TFRs, right? You understand the logic things. So you cannot create the file just like that. So what we need to create first? TFRs. We already, either you can use the same thing or we can delete it and create it. Let's use the same thing, okay? Terraform.tf watts. Okay, I'm not creating the bucket now. I'm creating what now? Easy to. So can you tell me what could be the inputs here? Input variables. We need to give the AMI. So I call it as instance underscore AMI. So we need to, so that is a variable name. What is the variable name I'm giving? Instance underscore AMI. Next, instance underscore type. What's our instance type? T2 micro. Very good. Next. So we go with the key name, key underscore name. So my what is your batch? 7:30 p.m. batch. And then name. So name I'm giving as what here? My instance. So I need to give the AMI. Take some camera. Is this clear? Online, is this clear now? So please keep that in mind. How many variables I have declared here? 4 variables. What are those 4 variables? If required, you can use your pen, paper, and then write, because we need to call these variables there, right? If you're intelligent, so remember that, right? What are the variables here? Instance underscore AMI, instance underscore type, key underscore name. So now I've given these details. Now what I need to create? Variables.tf, right? So vi variables.tf. So here, should I delete all these things? Okay. Now tell me, variables. Variable. అందుకే రాసుకోమన్నాను. What is the instance underscore AMI? That's why I told you to write the. It's very hard to remember the variable names. Type is equal to string. Here, description not required, right? So default you can put empty, or you just no need you just no need to even put the default. You just mention that instance underscore AMI is a variable. Next, variable instance underscore type. Very good. Next, type is equal to string, and then default is equal to next. So can I take copy it? Hmm. How many we have given? 3 or 4? Okay. So instance type here, instance key underscore name, key underscore name, and here name. Nice. Done. What is the next step? Provider is there already. Do it to change the providers all the time. Provider is there already. Next step, main.tf. Very good. So main.tf. Do I do so? I no buckets are creating here. Okay. Next. Okay. Let's go. Resource. What's the resource type for instance? AWS core underscore instance. What's the label? You can change any name or not. Label can be anything. Next year. AMI. Argument cannot be changed. AMI. Now here var dot instance underscore AMI. Very good. Next instance underscore type. Very good. And here var dot wow instance type. Very good. Next key underscore name. Var dot key underscore name. Next so here that name is nothing but tag, right? So I need to put here tags is equal to in the curly brackets. Here name is equal to which one? Var dot. What's there? You're writing bloody code. Understood? So everyone has the problem with the connections, dots. That meaning, sir, somewhere you created variable, somewhere you created TFR, somewhere you created something. How you need to call all these things here? That is the only magic in Terraform. Where are you creating what? And from there, what are you calling it? And can we call all the attributes from this? This is the resource type with the label and the AWS underscore instance dot my instance dot public IP, private IP, whatever you want, you can put it. Okay, now this is the resource block. Can I put okay, this is the resource block is done. There is one more block we need to we can write it here. There one more file, output.tf. Which one? So let's go. Can I write output also inside the main.tf? I can write it, but let us go and separate it. What's it? Output.tf. Tell me. Output. So we can give the right instance. What are the things that we can give? Instance public IP. You can give anything here. So what is the output here? Value is equal to, very good. Here, what is the resource type? Resource type. Namings you need to remember. Where did I use resource type? You know the answer. In main.tf, I have wrote a resource block, right? Tell me the resource block. Resource AWS underscore instance. What is that AWS underscore instance? Resource type. That is what I'm asking. What is resource type? AWS underscore instance. So we need to print that block right here. To print that block here, right? Okay, value is equal to, tell me, in brackets, AWS underscore instance dot, what's the label name? My instance dot, put the attribute. What do you want to attribute here? Public underscore IP. Okay. Next, where? Yeah, correct. Hmm. Because that is not a string. If we pass that, that will print that only directly. Because you need to get the values, right? So whatever that you put inside it, it will become as a string. Okay, next. Hmm. Output. Online. Online, you write it in the instance ID. I want instance ID here. So instance underscore ID. Hmm. Tell me here. Value is equal to AWS underscore instance dot my instance dot just put ID. If you put ID, automatically ID will get. That is the attribute by default that you get it. That can be changed. Let's say you created a VPC. How to get it? That VPC is resource type dot your label name dot ID. You will get the VPC ID. Okay. Next, I want the DNS, public DNS. Of course, I got you can. Let's put output. Output. What did we have? Instance. Guys, these are all time consuming. Instance underscore which one here? DNS. Okay, value is equal to, tell me, AWS underscore instance dot my instance dot public underscore DNS. So if you want, this guy is asking ARN, let's put here, let's put that also. Instance underscore ARN. Tell me, value is equal to AWS underscore instance dot my instance dot. You should know that attribute name. If you know the attribute, you can print whatever you want. Guys, everything is clear. If everything is good, because I wrote everything from my hands, right? So one spelling mistake you might have not done, so you'll get the errors here. Okay, before what we do is Terraform. Let's validate it. But here, let's nice. I can trust my fingers. Next. Okay, now if I do Terraform plan, okay. Okay. If the plan is coming out, obviously, if I apply it, automatically get it. So what are the outputs that you're getting here? See, instance ARN, ID, public DNS, public IP. So if you want to display the outputs, so you can write the outputs variables like that, and then you can see. Okay, tell me, let's create it. Terraform, apply, auto approve. So now you all understood how to create a S3 bucket, right? How to create a S3 bucket using this file structure, and how to launch EC2 instance using the file structure. Similarly, how to create a VPC using the file structure, how to create RDS using the file structure. But do you need to write the code how I'm writing? Do you need to write the code? Code will be available, you just need to use it. But until you're familiar with it, you can go and use it. And do you see this here, everyone? So instance IRN is there, okay? And then instance ID is there, public DNS, public IP. Super clear? Online is clear, Nana? Yes. If you want to change the values, just to change the values. If you want to change the values, where do you want to change the values? In only one place. Where? TFRs. Where do you want to change it? TFRs. But if you're adding a new variable, so you need to add it in all places or not? What are the places that you need to add? In TFRs, you need to add. Variables or TF, you need to add. In main.tf also you need to add if you want to create the resource. Okay, guys, this is clear. So I'll go and destroy terraform, destroy hyphen auto hyphen. Online GTS, is this clear, Nana? Till here, please. So now you understand all the file structures. So I will not be writing all the files multiple times. You know the file structure. Let us go and write everything in main.tf. Okay. So because it'll take time consuming, writing everything like this. Let us delete it. Let us destroy everything. And then let's go a concept called taint. Sir, again taint. Huh? Where did you have this taint? In Kubernetes. What concept was that? Huh? Pod scheduling, no? So taints, what is it? What is it? Taints and tolerance. Taints and tolerance. Very good. Okay, so it's destroyed. Everything is clear. And then should I go and remove stuff? All these things here? Huh? Okay. So provider, I want to remove. Okay. Let's do. So now, what is a taint? Say that. So taint is used to recreate specific resources in the infrastructure. What's that? Taint is used to recreate specific resources here. So taint it is used to recreate specific resources in the infrastructure. Let's say, for example, so Terraform taint command is used to manually mark a specific resource for recreation. Let's say you created one EC2 instance, you created one S3 bucket. I tainted S3 bucket. And if you apply it, what will do? It will recreate what? S3 bucket. Does it recreate our EC2 instance? No. So a specific resource, you can go and taint it. You're getting it? We'll do this here. So when you mark a resource as tainted, so it is indicating to Terraform that resource is in bad or inconsistent state and should be destroyed and recreated during the next Terraform apply operation. So sometimes, let's say for example, you created a VPC using Terraform. NAT gateway also will be created. Sometimes NAT gateway will take a lot of time. Let's say due to some reason NAT gateway didn't create it properly. So will you run the entire VPC again? Will you destroy the entire VPC again? So what we do simply, we taint that particular resource. If you taint that particular resource, what will happen? Only that resources will get destroyed and will recreate it again. Okay. So now what I do, let's go and create one main.tf and I want there to write a provider block. You tell me, I'll write. So one provider block, one EC2 instance creation block and one S3 block, resource blocks. Should you tell, so you tell me, I'll write. Tell me main.tf. Go ahead. Provider, AWS, region is equal to AP minus South minus 1. Next, what block? Resource. Which one resource? AWS underscore instance. Label name is my instance. Pass the variables directly here. What's the argument? AMI. Next, instance underscore type. What is the instance type here? T2 micro. Next, so let's go with the tags. Name is equal to, I call it as taint server. Okay. AMID I need to have. Okay. So let's go and write one more block for S3. Resource. Tell me. Resource. What is the type? Resource type AWS underscore S3 underscore bucket. Okay. So we need to give the label name my S3 bucket. Okay. Here, what's the argument? Bucket. Internet is gone. Yeah. Gone. Huh? Gone. So now what I do? I copy paste. Okay. Can you hear me online? So whenever there is a disconnection, okay, we can recover. Okay. Is this clear? This block? Online, please. Is this clear? Nana? Okay. Nice. So let's do what now? Terraform. Validate. Acha. That's why it is here. Okay. Where? In the home directory, yeah? Oh, I didn't create a directory. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So Terraform, validate. So Terraform, let's do what? Apply F1. So T, how many resources it's creating now? How many resources it is creating? 2 resources. What are those? EC2 instance, my instance. Another one is my S3 bucket, right? So now these 2 resources got created. So now what I need to do is, let's assume now I want S3 to recreate it. Something, maybe let's say for example S3 bucket or something. So I want to recreate it. So what you can do is you can taint that S3 bucket. Once you taint it, and then once you do again apply, so EC2 instance will not be created, only S3 bucket will be created. So let's say, first of all, how to list all the resources from the state file. Terraform state list. What's that? State list. So how many resources are there here? 2 resources. Now let's go and taint our S3 bucket. Can you taint EC2 also? You can use. So okay, let's taint. So Terraform, say that, taint. Which one you need to taint here? I need to give the entire resource type plus your label name you need to give. And then what it says here, what it says, this resource has been marked as tainted. So now what we do? Terraform, apply -- auto approve. So if what will happen here, if I do this, only S3 bucket will be destroyed and then recreated again. See here. What is destroying? Only S3. This is destroyed EC2 instance here? No. So this concept is called what here? Taint concept. Online is clear, Nana? Taint concept? Online, can you give me the clear CC? So let's go and destroy. Terraform, destroy, hyphen, auto, hyphen, upload. So that was on the time. Okay, so now let's go to the another concept called Terraform locals. Say that. Terraform locals. So local variables also we can declare. What's that? Local. So local variables will be only into that particular main.tf. So what we can do is, instead of you calling, the best thing is, I already told you the file structure. You get it from the tfvars and then variables, and then you can call that to the main.tf. That also can be done. Or else in the main.tf itself, what you can do, you can create the local variables. What is that? Local. So we use a component called locals. Say that. Locals. Say that. Locals. Let's say, for example, here. So instead of me writing it, let's take this example. See here, everyone. Can you see it? No? So in vi main.tf, what I'm writing here? Locals. What block is this? Online put it now. What block is this here? Local blocks. So in local blocks, so what are the variables that I'm putting here? Project underscore name. This is my variable name. What is the value for it? Okay. And then what is the environment? Can I give any name here? Yes. So environment. What is the environment? Students. So what is the instance count I'm giving here? 2. Tags is equal to name is equal to. Now, what is the variable? Can I call the variable here? You can call the variable using what here? Dollar. You can print the value of it. So what is the project name? Local. So here the block is local dot. What is the value? What is the variable name here? Project name. So can you tell me, if I take dollar local dot project underscore name, what it will print here? My awesome DevOps hyphen, and then it is printing local dot environment. Then so combine it now. My awesome DevOps students. You only. Yeah. Okay. So what is this? This is the local variables. So now, so please, I had generally why we need to recreate a bucket. I'm just giving an example of that. Not only bucket that you want to recreate in our previous taint concept. So any resource that you have created with the entire Terraform code, if you want to particular resource, if you want to delete and recreate it, okay, now you launch multiple EC2 instances. One EC2 is in pending state. What will you do now? Recreate or not? Right? And you don't want. So because you cannot go ahead and directly go and terminate and launch EC2 instance by manually, right? Right? Because if you do it manually, that will be tracked by our Terraform? No. So we need to tell everything to Terraform to test and recreate it. In that case, what we do? We taint it and then we will apply. Okay, Dinesh. Okay, now see here. So now resource code, resource here. What is the resource type? I'm launching the EC2 instance. AMI I have given, instance type I have given. Count. What is the count here? Local dot instance count. That meaning how much it will? 2. So local dot, this local dot instance count. How much here? 2. And what is the tag here? Local dot tags. It will print this. Local only. Declaration we need to give locals and then calling local only. Which one here? Main.tf. Okay. Okay. See this code once. You understand this code? Locals code. Can you tell me? Now it will launch one EC2 instance And what would be the name of the EC2 instance? Name of the EC2 instance, nothing but tag, no. What is the tag that will print? Excellent, guys. Who said that you don't know coding? Bring it here. Sumalika, it is local only. Let's do. I understand your question, Sumalika. Terraform, validate. So that is success. Okay, so if I go, hey, what's happening with this here? Okay, do you see this here? Sumalika doubt is, so what is here we are using? Block locals. So we need to say take locals dot, right? So if I go ahead and then give, for example, here, Sumalika, your question is this, right? Locals. So this will not work. It gives error or not? So so block is locals, but here when you're calling, you should use what? Local. Remember that. Okay. So now I have a question for you here. Can you print the output for this? Tell me the code for. If you're able to tell this code, you're good. Output. I want to output instance IDs. How many machines is getting launched? 2 machines, right? So I want to see those instance IDs. Tell me. Output here label can be anything. Okay. Which one? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then can I write description also here for fun? So description, I call it as list of EC2 instance IDs. The question is here. What is the value for it? Value is equal to AWS underscore instance dot. It give the label, no? My instance dot just ID is the attribute. But I want all instance ID. It will print only one, right? Logic, no? If you have only one instance, it will print only one. So for that, what you need to do here, my instance. So here it will, whenever the Terraform created the resource, it will give the indexes, right? In bracket 0, 1, 2. So you want to print all or not? You want to print all? So here, simply you put here star. See the logic? Huh? Simple. No loops required here. Okay. Now let's do Terraform validate. See how many examples I'm showing you to make you comfortable with this code, right? Okay. So now let's go in Terraform, apply to. Do you see that in array, that many indexes, you will get 0, 1, right? So it will print those things, that particular ID for it. Do you see that instance ID is output? You understand how to print the multiple output, multiple IDs there? Understood now? Online clear cities. Very nice. So let's go and destroy again. Acha. Okay, fine. Okay. Can you tell me, can you see this here? What is the name it printed here? My awesome DevOps students. Okay. So it has given to. Okay. Understood, Dinesh? So I'll just go and destroy. Okay. So I showed you with how to launch EC2 instances, how to create S3 buckets, right? With the different kind of taints we have seen, and then local variables we have seen, right? So now, little bit further, I want you to let us go and create a main.tf with the VPC. Not big that much hangaba, simple VPC. Inside this, a subnet, and then we need to launch one EC2 inside the VPC. Yes, we need to write a code for that. No copy paste, we need to write. If you're able to do like this, what I'm showing, so any code you can understand. You understand what's the requirement here? Guys, I'm not using that file structure. You can use file structure, but let's go write everything in main dot. Let me remove that. Okay. That is irritating. Main dot. Okay. Vi main dot tf. Again, it is here. Huh? Where is that swap? Acha, it created one file. Mm. Okay. So, yeah, that's fine. You understand what is the concept here? What are the things that I need to create? I need to create a VPC. And for VPC, what is the main thing that we need to have? CIDR. What is the main thing that you need to have? What? CIDR. Yes or no? When you're trying to create a VPC, what will give? We will give a CIDR. CIDR. Nice. CIDR भूल गए? CIDR. What is the CIDR that we use? 192.168.0.0/16. Network range we need to give, no? Right? And then we'll create. So I want you to create a CIDR block and then tag it as a production VPC. That's one block you need to write. Second block, I want you to create a subnet. When you're creating a subnet, that subnet should be obviously inside the new VPC that you have created. So you need to call that VPC inside the subnet using that attribute called .id. समझ में आ रहा? You getting it? Huh? Online, you're getting it now? And then availability zones, and for the subnet also, I need to write a block. And then I need to launch an EC2 instance, resource block. And that EC2 instance should be inside the particular subnet that you have already created. So 3 resource blocks you need to create here. How many? What are the 3 resource blocks? One is for VPC, another is for subnet, another is for EC2. What are 3 blocks? Tell me again. VPC, subnet, EC2. Simple. Should we go into it? Let's go. First, we'll write provider block. You know the code. Tell me. You tell me. I'll be writing it online. You can write and put it in the chat. Region is equal to south minus 1. Chalo. Next. So here we need to create which block? VPC block. So resource. So AWS underscore VPC is the resource type. Okay. And then what's the name? So we give the name label. I call it as my VPC. Okay. Inside this VPC, we need to give the CIDR block. Correct? If you want to create a VPC, it is mandated to give the CIDR block or not. So the argument for it is, don't worry, you can get this in internet, CIDR block. What is that? CIDR block. So what is the CIDR block? 192, 168.00/16 that we always create. This CIDR block, huh? Now you remember processing. Okay, good. CIDR block. And then next tag it. Tags is equal to, so name is equal to, I call it as prod APC. Nice. Next, so VPC block is done. VPC block is done. And next, what is block? Now you tell me. Resource. AWS underscore subnet. Next. So you can give my subnet or subnet one, whichever it is. I'm giving for my subnet. Here is the challenging thing for you. Here, these subnets need to be created under the VPC that you have created. So you VPC is created. What is the resource type? AWS underscore VPC. What's the label? And I need that ID here, attribute. So here our argument is VPC underscore ID. Now I need to pass the ID, VPC ID for this. So how do I pass it? How do I get the data? I have not declared any variable here. Did I declare the variables here? No. So what do you need to do here? Directly बुलाओ उसको. बुलाओ. बस. Dot. My VPC. But attribute. बस हो गया खत्म. Getting it? Got it? So VPC ID, you are not giving any variables here. If you have the variables, that var.tf, and then you can call it from there. But I'm not, I showed you already that. I'm showing you the another ways here, right? So you are calling directly here resource type dot label. Okay, VPC ID hoga. So CIDR block, we need, for the subnet, we need to give the CIDR block or not? CIDR underscore block. Kaun sa CIDR block? What is the CIDR block for this? 192.168.1.0/ remember. Next up. So definitely, guys, you have to remember, I could have told you this before, to create a VPCs by yourself and come. Because to create a VPC, do you remember that 11 step that we have learned creating the VPCs? In that VPCs, to create a subnet, so what are, you need to have existing VPC. Subnets. See here, while creating a VPC, create VPC, you did. What is the name you have given now? And then CIDR you given. Do you have anything else to me? That's why in the code also I wrote only the CIDR and then name. I created it manually. How we created? Automatically we created. What's the next thing? We need to create a subnet. So go to subnet, while create subnet. What is the information it is giving? VPC ID I need to select, right? So how do you get the VPC? So VPC ID we need to select. So here just now we created a VPC. How do we get the ID? The resource type dot label dot ID. You got it already. Now, and then you selected it here. Next, what is asking for? Subnet name. You wish you can give the subnet name, or if you don't want, you don't want to give it. No, it's okay. So but we go and write the subnet name. Okay. And then availability zone we to select or not? Is mandatory or not? For that reason, here I'm writing what? Availability. And then here, and I need to give the CIDR or not? What is the CIDR? MD 192.168.1.0. That's it. So how many things I need to provide? 1, 2, 3. So you should have the logic of what needs to be created. Terraform is all about that. You should know. That is the reason why First, I taught you how to create it manually with all the logics. Automatically, it will be easy for you. Okay, so how many arguments I need to pass here? 3 arguments. VPC I have passed, CIDR block has what? Another one is what? Availability underscore zone. What's the availability zone for this? AP minus south hyphen 1 A. And then I need to give the name for it. Name is nothing but here tags. What is the tag here? Oopsie, what's okay. Name is equal to, what is the name? I call it as production subnet. Prod hyphen subnet. Guys, clear? Resource block. What's the last thing I need to create it now? Bolo. Resource AWS underscore instance, and then my instance. This EC2 instance should be inside the subnet or not. So we have an argument called subnet underscore ID. How do you call the subnet ID? Dinesh, that arguments you will get it from the Google internet. So if you just go to internet in the Terraform official documentation, so whatever is required for the VPC resource types, you will get it. So the arguments we cannot change it. Okay. Subnet ID below AWS underscore subnet. Super. Dot subnet one dot. Very nice. Very nice. And then what I need to pass here again? Yeah, my Pascal. Those are all my boys. Right? बस इतना ही है भाई टेराफॉर्म कोड कहीं को चिंता करते हैं नेक्स्ट बताओ इंस्टेंस अंडरस्कोर टाइप मारो क्या है उसका T2 माइक्रो नेक्स्ट टैग्स लगाओ टैग्स इज इक्वल टू क्या नेम इज इक्वल टू call it as prod server. You bloody wrote the VPC code. But here we created only what? VPC and one subnet. Like this, you need to write a code for internet gateway, NAT gateways, public routing table, private routing table. All these things you should write it or not? Do you need to write it? Not required. ChatGPT would have sub, everything is there. But you should understand from where to where it is calling it. Kalyani, so no, don't worry about here, sir, we created VPC, but no internet gateway. How will it take it? It will take it. For creating a VPC, internet gateway is mandatory. Yeah. It's not mandatory. Why you need internet gateway? If you want internet, then only you need to have internet gateway. Here, what I'm showing here, okay, I understand. Very good. Sundana, these people are now, what do you call, next level they are thinking. Sir, where is internet gateway? Sir, where is public subnet? Where is private subnet? See, Sunanda is asking. So these are all the next things. So here I'm showing you. So if I show you the entire code in once, then what you will, you'll faint. Sir, this much code, what should I write? So that's the reason I showed you how to write VPC subnet. Like this, slowly we need to enhance this code writing internet gateway attaching to it, right? Attached to the VPC, create a how many subnets I created now? One subnet. Like this, create multiple subnets, and then each subnet should be in one availability zone. So everything we can start enhancing the code. But is it clear till here? So if I do this, what it will create now? It will create, what is the output for this? It will create a VPC. It will create a one subnet. It will launch a EC2 instance inside that VPC. Got it? Very nice. चलो देखते Terraform validate. AC is on, huh? My throat is gone. Okay, validation is correct. Guys, if we just plan, it will work. Do I need to create it? Do I need to create it? Not required. Just if I say plan, plan will come. So if I create it again, what will happen? I need to destroy it again. It will take time. So you can do it. So if the plan is working for me, see here, prod VPC got created here. So 3 to add. Is it clear? Online, is this clear? This example, please. Online. Okay. Now, just now before this, we learned about the locals variables, right? Okay. See here now, vi main.tf. So here, what is the word which is repeating again and again? Let's do one thing. What is the word which is repeating again and again? That we cannot change it. These AWS we cannot change. That is the resource type we cannot change. Right? Labels we cannot change. That is a block. Right? Inside it. Inside. Do you see this prod? Prod it is here. Here also, that is prod VPC. Here I say prod subnet. Here in the bottom, prod server. Instead of now, I don't want prod, I want dev. So will you change it every place? Instead of that, what we can do? You understand my question? My question is, I want to change prod to dev. In how many places I need to change here? 3 places. Next, again, I need to change to test. Again, how many places you need to change? 3 places. I don't want to change these many places. I want to change only one place. So what I need to implement here? Variable. What I need to implement here? Yes or no? So just now before we learned about local variables, right? Yes or no? We can get that variable. We can mention the variable here and then call that variable in the instead of prod. People, tell me. Locals. What is the block here? Locals. So inside this locals, let's say for example, env is equal to, thank you. So env is equal to, which one I'm using here, for example, prod. What's the variable I use? What's the variable name? Variable name, env, variable value, prod. So now, instead of here prod, can you tell me how do I call this variable here? Dollar, first you need to have dollar, no? Dollar in our brackets always, here, local dot, chalo bhai, very good. Getting in? Sidhu, which one? That will come under the string only, right? That will come under the string only. Okay, next, here also. Tell me, instead of this, dollar, local dot, en. Do you understand how I use the local variables now in the real-time scenario? Next year, dollar, local dot, en. That is how we need to, print the values here, Sumalika. That's a HashiCorp language. Guys, I think if you are a developer like a Python, Java, .NET, don't get that concepts here. Okay, if you get that concepts here, then Sumalika, those are the questions that you get it. So this is a very different HashiCorp language that you're using it. Okay. Okay, now what we do? Should we go and do the Terraform plan? So if you do the Terraform plan, working or not? So what is here? Yes or no? Did I give prod VPC directly? No, I call it from the variable or not. So I'm just doing plan. What you need to do? Apply also you do it. Apply and just try multiple times. Online, is this clear enough, everyone? Online, clear, please. Can I get CC till here, everyone? Online. Yes, we can keep on adding it, Dinesh. No problem. We can create an internet gateway and attach it to the VPC. How we created a subnet and attach to the VPC, similarly create the internet gateway and then start attaching it to the VPC. Okay, so next topic here, we call it as workspace. Say that. Online, put it in the chat, Anna. What is that here? Workspace. So the workspace concept, it is same like your namespace concept in your Kubernetes. What is namespace in Kubernetes? That word you should get isolated. What is that? Isolated environment that you get it. Yes or no? So similarly here also you'll get what? Isolated environments. So let's say for example, you have multiple teams, development, staging and production. Is it good that everyone will use the same state file? If they use the same state file, they cannot do any work because let's say for example, you are a developer, you wrote a main.tf and you called it as a prod server and you applied, prod server got created. Next dev and the same state file, developer came. Developer came and then he removed that prod server and put it to what? Dev server. And that prod server will get renamed again to dev server because he's using the same state file or not. Then the prod wala will come and say, "Arey, where is my prod server?" Dev server has modified it. The test server, the test guy will come also do the testing and he get the test server. You getting it? So why they are doing everything in the default namespace? What's that? Default name. So if you want to have a separate namespace, especially separate state files, they need to go for which concept? Workspace. Which concept here? Workspace. This is mainly for what purpose? Isolation purpose. What purpose, Anna? So if you want to list the current workspace, what's the command? I told you this. Terraform workspace list. Nice. Default. And if you do ls minus al, and do you see this here? We know what is dot terraform, and you see here dot d. What is that dot d? Workspace. So if you go inside it, dot terraform dot d. So it has created its own thing, but did I created any workspace till now? No. If I create a workspace, then it will create it directly inside it. We can create our own. What is the default workspace? Default. So can we go and create our own workspace? Can tell me the command to create a workspace. Similarly, Terraform was that? Whoa. Workspace new. New. Let's say dev. Read it. What it says. Yes or no? So it is created and already switched to workspace. So here, if at all you want to, it's already switched, but you can create multiple workspaces like a prod and test also. So let's say if you want to switch it, so what you need to do is similarly workspace select. What's that? Select dev. Select dev meaning it will go and select. If I do select dev, it's already selected here. It's already selected. So what is the command here? Workspace list. In which workspace you are in now? It just like branches, right? Just like branches. It creates a separate directory. That's it. Abhishek, directory. Whenever you see .d, remember those are workspaces. Okay, now let me do this thing for you. Um, let's go main.tf. I'm just removing this code from here. Okay. Now let's go and implement this workspaces concept here. Okay. So what I want is here, guys, I want a local block. Which one? Locals block containing instance types, containing the instance type dev test prod. I want a local block. Instance types is equal to. So my concept here is if it is dev workspace, you should launch that particular instance type. If it is prod workspace, it should launch a particular instance type. So first of all, I need to declare the variables locally or not. So let's write a block for that. What is the command? Locals. Okay. So here, what I need to write? Instance types. Okay. So what are the instance type? Dev. Dev is a variable. So for dev walas, they should use what one? T2 micro. Next, test wala, they should use what? T2 small. And next, prod wala, what they should use? T2 medium. You understand the local? Local block is clear. Online chat is local box is clear. Okay. Now let us go and launch an EC2 instance. Tell me the resource block. Resource AWS underscore instance. You can here you can give my instance or workspace example. Okay, curly braces. Okay, we need to pass the AMI first of all. Let's get the AMI. Now, which one? Ah, you can give anything. This is label name. Ah. Label name can be anything. No underscore, nothing. There's no mandatory. Okay, Subbarao is giving his programming skills. If block. Okay, so now I need to what here? Instance type, no? Okay, instance type. I already declared something there on top. Now I need to pass the instance type. Yeah. Local dot instance underscore types dot Dave is a variable. How do you call? Ah, very good, very good. I want that is called programmatical skills. Very nice. Attributes is a predefined one. You cannot call the variables. Dot variable you cannot call here, right? So here, what is the example that I'm using? Workspace example. What is the default workspace now? Not default. In which workspace I am now? कुछ आया समझ में? Can I print the workspace here? And then that will pick the dev. Can I print it just like if we Terraform workspace list, it will give the dev, right? So can I print that which workspace I am in now, and it will give the dev, and that is the input for this instance type or not? So here in square brackets, I call it as Terraform dot workspace. Which one here? See this here, Terraform dot workspace, meaning it will print what? Dev, because in which workspace I am in now? Dev. So this will local dot instance type will take which one? Dev. Local dot instance type will check with one? Dev. So that means instance type will be, what value will we get here? T2 micro. So it will print the current workspace. Terraform dot workspace will print the what? Current workspace. You got the point? Online, you got it now? Okay. Now I need to give the tag, right? Tag also. Tell me tags is equal to name. Name is equal to. Okay. Now I want to print as dev server, but I don't want to write dev there. What I need to write here instead of dev? Very good. Dollar all the time in brackets. Which one? Terraform dot workspace. Now it will be dev. Later it will be anything current workspace. You got the point here? So you'll be learning Python also from me. Huh? Nice, no? How nicely you're getting it. Online, clear enough? Okay, so okay, let's write the output also for this. Okay. Take Python also, sir. Okay, tell me the output here. So I want to print. I'm giving the example. I want to print current workspace, and I want to print instance type. Tell me the output for that. Let's go one. I want to print the current one, workspace. Output, I call it as active. Okay. Here, value is equal to relevant dot workspace. Super. Bus relevant dot and next one, output instance underscore type. Which okay, I call it as selected because I want to know which instance type got selected. No. Okay. Value is equal to I want to print which instance type. What? Local dot instance types. Which one? Terraform dot bus. Understand? You understand the workspace concept? Huh? So Terraform. So can you create multiple workspaces like this? Now, if I do Terraform plan, so it will give everything related to dev or not? It will give everything related to dev. Like this, can you create, what's the command to create test workspace? Terraform, workspace, new, and then test. And then run the commands. Run the main.pf. And then it will create, let's create. Wait, do you see what is output? Active workspace is this, and then instance type is this. Let's create. Okay, let's. Can I take 5 more minutes online? Terraform, apply, auto hyphen. If you apply, then only your state file will create. In which in that terraform.d directory is there, no? Inside that dev folder will get created. Inside that tf your state file will get created. Okay, see now what's the current here? Selected type is this. If I go and refresh, do you see dev server? Okay. Sorry. Do you see terraform.tf state.d? So cd terraform tf state.d. Do you see dev? cd dev, and we have a state file there. Yes or no? cd cd dot. So like this, can you create another new workspace and then run the main.tf? Do you do any changes in main.tf now? No, because we already taking the current workspace, right? It will, if you create a test workspace, it will launch test server. If you create a prod namespace, it will launch a prod server. Understood? And if you want to delete if you want to destroy, if you delete the workspace, can you delete the workspace while the resources are running? You need to destroy first and then delete the namespace. Yes or no? Got it? Guys, understood? Online. Online, this is clear. Is this clear? I'll stop it here. Okay. So what are the things that we have learned today? Local variables. We started with file structure. So we created S3 buckets. We have launched EC2 instances using the file structure, actual real-time file structure. Then we learned about taints and we learned about the local variables and then workspaces. Clear? Will you able to do this? Super. Online clear cities. Any questions? So I'll give you the notepad. So just go ahead and then write. Please write how I wrote it today. So that's how you need to write. Try to get the connections here and there, and then try to deploy this. Create multiple times. You don't do only plan. Try to do the apply destroys. You do it. Okay. Can you hear the final CC for today, please? Tomorrow we have class. Tomorrow we have class. I didn't got any notification from for Holi. Yeah. Holi you'll do in the morning or evening? Whole day. What? Yeah. So tomorrow we have class, Nana. We have a class, and tomorrow we'll go with the next another concepts. Okay. So that is all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with the continuation of this Terraform. Until then, take care, guys. And then, by use command how to attach internet to. Is there any comment? Yes, Dinesh. Don't worry. We'll be doing the projects. We'll get here. Don't concentrate on setting up the entire VPC. If you want to set up the entire VPC, don't write with your hands. I'll show you quickly. What is that? Terraform code to set up which one? AWS. Hmm. See here. You know this block? Just now today we worked on this cider block, and you have another arguments you can pass it. So DNS first name meaning it will give the DNS names. Okay, main VPC. See here, resource. What's the resource type? AWS underscore internet underscore gateway. What's the name he's giving? Main. VPC we have created. Can you call the VPC? How do you call? AWS underscore VPC dot main dot. How to get the VPC ID? Dot ID. Okay, so and you are attaching to it. Internet gateway created. Next, what it is creating? Just now today we created one subnet. So you are attaching to the VPC, and this is a cider block. You gave the availability zone, and then public IP addresses are true. That meaning for this public subnet, whenever you launch the EC2 instance, automatically public IPs will be enabled. Name is this. Create a routing table, VPC ID, attach it, and then route to this is the thing. And then this all traffic in the public routing table should be routed to all traffic. This is routed to where? Internet gateway. So we created internet gateway on top of how to call internet gateway. AWS underscore internet gateway dot main dot ID. Okay. Next, what is that? Associations we do. So public routing table, private routing, subnet. Which subnet? Public subnet, no? So public subnet on AWS underscore subnet dot public ID. Routing table public dot ID. Secret groups. We will be learning this ingress. Then you understood how to the code now? If you are able to understand this code, now that is Terraform. Now you are on the level up now. So chest up. You are a Terraform. You know also Terraform. Okay. That's the reason why bits and pieces I'm telling you slowly. Okay. And then so that you can, don't worry about these things. We'll do one by one. Okay. So that's all. Let's connect tomorrow with the continuation, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.